Imagine this, a fan that cools your entire house while consuming only 200 watts. Yes, 200 watts. While your central air conditioning pulls between 3,000 to 5,000 watts. That's 1/10 of the energy. A simple fan, costing between $200 to $600 with no compressor, no refrigerant, no ductwork, and no service contracts. Unlike your air conditioner, which may only last 15 to 20 years before needing to be replaced with another $5,000 unit, this fan just keeps going year after year, decade after decade. It's called a whole house fan. Once the standard for American homes in the first half of the 20th century, the whole house fan was phased out around 1960. Not because it failed, but because something more convenient came along. Now, in a world of complex cooling systems, the fan remains an unsung hero. So how does it work? When evening comes and the sun sets, the outside air cools to around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. You open a few windows, just 4 to 6 will do, and flip a switch. Mounted in your ceiling, usually in a central hallway, the fan pulls in cool night air through every open window and vents it straight into the attic. It's not the recycled, stale air pushed through the same ducts as your air conditioning. No, this is fresh, outdoor air, sweeping through every room in your house, the bedroom, the hallway, the kitchen. You feel the breeze instantly as soon as you turn it on, unlike your air conditioner that takes 15 minutes to start cooling the space. Meanwhile, the hot air trapped in your attic, often as high as 130 to 140 degrees, is quickly expelled through the roof vent, cooling down the attic in minutes. Your air conditioner, on the other hand, has been struggling all afternoon, running against the intense heat radiating down from that same attic. The fan eliminates it in mere minutes, making the house feel cooler instantly. But here's what most people don't realize. The fan isn't just cooling the air, it's cooling your home itself. The walls, the floors, the furniture, everything in your home holds heat and it has been soaking it up all day. Your air conditioner cools the air, but not the walls. By 10 in the morning, the walls are already radiating yesterday's heat back into the rooms, causing your air conditioner to kick back on. But with a whole house fan, the walls have already been cooled overnight, so they continue absorbing heat instead of releasing it. By 10 in the morning, the house remains comfortable all the way through noon and into the afternoon. This is thermal mass cooling. Now, your air conditioner makes cold air from scratch, using a compressor and refrigerant, but the fan moves air that is already cool. That's the real reason for the 10-to-1 energy savings. Let's break down the numbers and see exactly what that energy gap costs you. In the summer, your air conditioner's compressor is the biggest electricity draw in your home, larger than even your water heater, dryer, or other major appliances. A central air system costs between $3,000 to $7,000 to install, and your monthly summer bills could be anywhere from $150 to $350, depending on your climate. On average, Americans spend between $300 to $550 a year just on cooling their homes. The system typically lasts for 15 to 20 years, meaning over the course of a 30-year mortgage, you're replacing it twice, at a cost of $6,000 to $14,000 just in replacement costs, before you factor in annual service calls, refrigerant recharges, filter changes, duct cleaning, and the overall lifetime cost of air conditioning. But here's the kicker. A whole house fan costs between $200 to $600, and most homeowners can install it themselves in half a day. It goes in a ceiling opening with some basic attic venting. The fan draws only 200 to 700 watts, depending on the size and speed, and the monthly operating cost, even running every night, is between $10 and $30. In California, where electricity rates are higher, running a central air conditioning system costs about 67 cents per hour, while a whole house fan on low costs just 1.8 cents per hour. On high, it costs just 6.5 cents per hour, 10 to 37 times cheaper. The fan pays for itself in a single cooling season and keeps saving you money every year after that. No refrigerant to recharge, no compressor to replace, no 15-year expiration date. Let's take a closer look at how the numbers add up. According to Pacific Gas and Electric, one of the largest utilities in the United States, whole house fans use up to 90% less energy than traditional compressor-based air conditioning systems. This isn't just a manufacturer's claim. It's a utility company telling you that there's a more affordable way to keep cool. The Florida Solar Energy Center conducted a field study on a real home in Cocoa Beach, Florida, one of the hottest and most humid climates in the country. In this study, researcher Danny Parker measured everything from thermal couplers on the walls to submeters on the air conditioning compressor. On moderate days, the whole house fan reduced air conditioning energy use by 65%. On the hottest days, it still saved 10%. And on days when the average temperature stayed below 75 degrees Fahrenheit, the fan handled all the cooling on its own, no air conditioning needed. But it's not just Florida. In California, the whole house fan has proven its worth. In 2014, the California Energy Commission included whole house fans in the building code. The state recognized the significant energy savings and wrote it into law. Now, new residential construction in 7 climate zones across California, covering areas like Sacramento, Fresno, Pasadena, Riverside, and much of the Central Valley, requires the installation of whole house fans. This is a state-level recognition of the fan's effectiveness, driven by years of data and research. Yet, despite these findings, only one state has implemented such a measure, while the other, 49, remain behind the curve. Now, this isn't a new technology, and it's not some untested experiment. The concept of natural ventilation and cooling has been around for centuries. In fact, Thomas Jefferson designed Monticello with a large central hall and an octagonal cupola at the top of the house, specifically to draw hot air up and out through natural convection. This was the same principle used across the American South before air conditioning even existed. Homes were designed with breezeways and open layouts, oriented to let the wind pass through every room. Sleeping porches were common, allowing families to sleep outside during the warm summer nights, with the cool breeze flowing through, far from the hum of any mechanical system. The electric whole house fan emerged in the early 20th century, and by the 40s and 50s, it was the standard for cooling homes. But with the advent of residential air conditioning, the fan became obsolete. Air conditioning was revolutionary, offering the convenience of cooling the home at any time, in any climate, regardless of the outdoor temperature. It didn't require windows to be opened or closed at specific times, and it didn't need much input from the homeowner. You set the thermostat, and it worked, effortlessly. But while air conditioning was convenient, it was expensive, using far more energy and requiring more maintenance and eventual replacement. So the whole house fan was pushed aside. Developers stopped installing them, contractors stopped recommending them, and homes were built with tighter seals, limiting the airflow. In just one generation, the whole house fan went from a standard feature to a forgotten relic, not because it didn't work, but because something more convenient and more costly came along. However, there's one significant difference between the two systems: the fan's simplicity. While air conditioning relies on compressors, refrigerants, and complex ductwork, the whole house fan is incredibly straightforward. It's an efficient, low-maintenance solution that cools the house without all the complexity of modern air conditioning systems. And perhaps most importantly, it's far cheaper to operate. While your air conditioner recirculates the same air through the same ducts, recycling dust, pet dander, and other indoor pollutants, the whole house fan completely replaces the air in your home within 3 to 4 minutes, bringing in fresh outdoor air and flushing out the stale air. This is a major benefit for your indoor air quality, something your air conditioner can't provide. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the EPA even noted that whole house fans help reduce airborne virus transmission by improving ventilation with outdoor air. As you can see, the whole house fan isn't just an energy-saving tool. It's a health improvement for your home, a longer-lasting investment for your roof, and a life extender for your air conditioning system. With fewer compressor cycles, your air conditioner will last longer, suffer fewer breakdowns, and require less maintenance. You're not only saving on your monthly electricity bills, but you're also saving on the costly repairs and replacement of your air conditioning system. The whole house fan can also benefit your roof. During the summer, attics often reach temperatures of 130 to 160 degrees. That intense heat doesn't just make your house uncomfortable, it accelerates the deterioration of your roof, causing asphalt shingles to break down faster, lose granules, and become brittle. The constant exposure to extreme heat shortens the lifespan of your roof, sometimes by years. But when the whole house fan is running, it lowers the attic temperature by 30 to 50. This reduces the heat stress on your roof, helping to preserve it for much longer, potentially saving you thousands of dollars on roof repairs or replacement. Let's get into the real-world benefits of this fan. Imagine a Wednesday evening in July. You've spent the day at work and the house is warm. You come in, flip a switch, and within seconds, cool, fresh air is flowing through the hallway. The air is real night air, cooling to 66 degrees, gently streaming across your skin. You walk into the bedroom, and the sheets are cool as you pull them back. The ceiling fan you usually need on high is now off. The house is not just cool, it's quiet. There's no compressor humming outside the window, no ductwork ticking. It's just the soft sound of the fan in the attic, barely louder than the breeze it's pulling through. By the time you fall asleep, the house is at 67 degrees and your air conditioner hasn't turned on once. Now, let's think about the impact. No more spinning meters, no refrigerant cycling, no electricity running through that condenser coil. It's just cool air moving through your home, doing exactly what homes used to do before we made cooling so complicated. When morning comes, you close the windows, turn off the fan, and the floor feels cold beneath your feet. The walls are still cool to the touch. You make your coffee and realize sometime around noon that you forgot to turn the air conditioning on because you didn't need it. The house held its cool. And by the evening, you do it all over again. For the cost of running a couple of light bulbs, you're cooling the same house that costs your neighbor $300 a month in air conditioning bills. Your compressor is resting, your roof is lasting longer, and the air in your home is cleaner. The fan that makes all of this happen costs less than a single service call on the very air conditioning system it's quietly replacing. The whole house fan was the standard way of cooling homes in this country for half a century. The physics haven't changed. The fan hasn't changed. What's changed is that we simply forgot about it when something more convenient came along, something that costs 10 times more to operate and needs to be replaced twice over the course of a mortgage. The data has been sitting in the same studies, the same utility reports, and the same building codes for decades. The fan has been sitting on the same shelf for even longer. The only thing that was ever missing was someone telling you it was there. If you're the kind of person who believes that the best solutions aren't always the newest ones, then the whole house fan is for you. The solutions are already here, already proven, and the energy savings are just waiting to be realized. The next time you need to cool your home, remember, simplicity, efficiency, and the fan that has been around for over a century.